Welcome back to the show. Our Xbox coverage continues with the SCL as Diem and Rival find themselves on the bottom side of the semifinals, fighting their way to maybe win another day. We'll find out.
We'll find out. A good back-and-forth matchup. Great team fighting. A little bit questionable decision-making in the last matchup.
I disagree with the team fighting. That was not great team fighting. These guys want to be pros. Let's be serious.
Okay. It was okay.
It was okay.
I saw a couple players that really turned up. Some individual mistakes.
It was okay.
Let's just get into game. BM versus Rival going to be competing, and last year, just talking about the European scene as a whole, a much smaller scenario, so it is harder for these teams to kind of push each other up.
Yeah.
We saw Aware win their way into the Xbox One Invitational at Worlds. However, they were swiftly defeated, and we're just trying to see who in Europe can compete and kind of like push each other up here for Season 2.
Guan Yu and Isis getting taken away. Guan Yu much more effective on console.
Very effective.
Than he is on PC. Large AoEs, moves that are hard to escape from. The turn ratio obviously much smaller. Turn speed much smaller on console than it is on PC. So good bans. Athena and Ao Kwang to finish it up, and first pick over to Team BM.
Khepri is available, but this seems to be something that only certain players on Xbox and console can play effectively. But it's actually going to be Soul picked up, more than likely for the dual lane, although sometimes is played by some mid laners.
Soul grabbed early. Rival has option. 2 picks here. Of course, I love Kali. Right now, I think she's top 3 PC. I think she's top 3 Xbox as well.
Can never go wrong with Janus, though.
No, that's true.
Janus is one of those gods that no matter what happens, you can build a team comp around him. He can be useful offensively, defensively, just for the global rotations. And speaking of global rotations, it's going to be Thor. I do expect Rival to try and force a lot of early fights with just these first 2 picks. This mid jungle has a lot of poke potential. One setup with the Tectonic Rift or a portal on the ground can find someone 100-0'd even at level 3. So expect Rival to be very aggressive early on, but that's going to be kind of hard against Neith Khepri.
This is a very defensive team so far from Team BM, a very aggressive, possibly team from Team Rival.
Yes,
wow.
yes.
Yes, very aggressive. Okay, so we're through the first phase. We have a fair amount of ideas where these teams are going to be heading up. Odin getting taken away, Geb, and Athena taken away on one side, and they get Khepri. So Team BM controlling the supports in the duo lane. Rival taking away Humbots immediately. Wow.
Team BM, their last ban going to be Bacchus. So a lot of frontliners taken out from both these teams, but you can see their Team BM already have their Khepri. Rival banning out Odin, more than likely looking for this Vamana pick. Odin, obviously the biggest counter to Vamana. He's not able to heal in the ring, so now they're going to have a pretty dominant soul laner matching up against Tyr from BM.
I have no idea why BM hit Bacchus instead of going for Vamana, which was definitely the clear pick. Not only the hardest counter in the game to Soul, but his only counter, Odin, taken off the board. Kali getting picked up. Great pick for against Hou-Yi, but I was actually expecting a Wheelish for this comp.
Especially with the knock-up on Tyr. Also very good against the Hou-Yi, and depending on what Rival last pick, and it will be a Kumbhakarna. I really like this, especially against the Kali. Not only is Kali going to be diving in very deep into the backline, you pop that Mez, and if she decides to pop her purifications, or whether the Mez is broken early, that's going to be reduced attack speed for a pretty significant duration.
She'll be able to get knocked up as well as soon as that purification ends. Kumbhakarna, the hardest counter in the game to Kali, whereas Vamana is also the hardest counter in the game to Soul. So, I mean, there's a fair amount of counter pick going on for Team Rival on a very aggressive squad. Tyr doesn't really bring a lot to the table here. He's self-sustaining, and he's going to need to provide a fair amount of fearless control, which is hard on Xbox to get multiple people. You can't line it up as quickly. Realistically, looking at this comp, Team BM is on a dice roll. This belongs to Rival. Rival should win this game pretty easily, actually.
What I'm looking at mostly is the fact that Gnome, Hydra, and is that Atonement? Not only are they all going to be pretty tanky, but they also have a lot of mobility for themselves. They're going to be able to get themselves in and out. They don't have to worry about Kumbhakarna appealing for them. The only thing that Rival has to worry about is if Kali is kind of left unchecked. And as long as Zenborne focuses his entire attention to this Kali, once these team fights break out, it should go the way of Rival. They have so much damage, they have so much control, as well as so much mobility to escape any Neith or Soul that's trying to get to their back line. Starts, though, going to be pretty standard.
Yeah, minions coming out. You'll see the right side, a much stronger start for Rival, as they're going to get not only the mid camps, but a better line to lane for the mid laner. You'll note a big contest will have to happen at the left side mid camps. Should Team BM allow the left side mid camps to go, there's going to be a lot of trouble in mid. Neith needs a lot of farm comparatively to Janus, who's pretty much guaranteed it.
And you can see the Kali matching up, especially against the Thor Janus early. There's just so much kill potential. It's very worrying for BM to try and fight into this, but they do have control of the lane early on. But with Hydra's double tap, Rival just going to head right over to these mid camps, and it looks like actually both teams want to fight for this these Harpies.
Yeah, let's check out the left side mid camps here. We're going to have an engagement. You'll note on the mini-map how the red team has already moved into the circle. They're pulled it back. Vale's trying to go for it. I think he got one there.
He got one.
Wait, did he get the second one too? That auto attack looked like it connected.
We'll have to see based. I mean, yeah, Kali's level 3. I think they did secure
they got
that.
both of those.
Wow.
I'd be mad.
Rival, and there's the level 3 from Neith as well. So Rival getting the better of it early on.
That's on Janus, 100%. I mean, Thor did what he needed to do. Thor doesn't have burst damage. He has sustainable damage through, his abilities. They don't kind of put a big shot out at once. It's kind of like little bits of damage that grow over the course of a 1.5 to 2 seconds. Comparatively to Janus, who walks up and just hits the shotgun. And he did it too early and caused his team to lose a lot of gold, 140 gold.
Left-hand side, you can see both duo lanes kind of battling it out. You would expect Soul and Khepri to have the superior clear, and they do seem to have control of the lane for the most part, but...
Wait, why is that?
Soul got to be a little bit careful.
I don't expect Soul and Khepri to have better clear.
Soul Khepri?
Kumbhakarna?
Soul Khepri.
Kumbhakarna.
Khepri protects his creeps, does more damage than Kumbha to the creeps, and Soul also does more damage than Ricochet early on. A lot of it is going to be dependent on poke and kind of figuring that out.
I don't think it's as black and white as you're making it sound, though. I think that there's a fair amount of control that they're giving up just because it seems like the Team BM squad is just playing better.
The thing is, for me, is that Khepri, whether he's defensive or offensively, is going to have the same level of clear, where Kumbha really suffers if he's on his back foot, because then he has to put himself into an awkward spot, and you see him a lot less willing. Not that he can't clear, but he's a lot less willing or has to burn potions to try and use that belly bounce.
Thing that's worrisome for me is Team BM cleared that very, very quickly in the last engagement, forced all 6 forward, and yet didn't go into the jungle, not even for an invade, not even for going for their own creeps. Their boars are available. You see them finally go for it now, but, I mean, they were there last
Kali actually was able to steal away the top right sideboard while we were watching the duel lane, so a small lead for him, but I mean, Vamana's going to be fine for the most part. Now that there's only... Actually, it is double boars still on console, I believe.
Oh, that's right, it is
I forgot about that. So that actually was very big. I thought it was only minor.
The pig pressure.
The pig pressure, man.
Yes, very important. Level 6 right now. Smart use of clear the path there. Should he get hit by another Fearless, that could have been the end of that.
That 100% would have been death. As long as he could have, as long as the tier could have comboed right, it would have been real close. But I think the tier would have had that. Pretty slow-paced game for now, and it seems like that's what the Kali wants to aim for, is just farm out a lot of times. And that's why they put the Neith mid. Going to put out a little bit more pressure than Soul early on. The Soul can combine very well with the Khepri in the duel lane, get their farm there. But no aggression from the Thor Janus is what I'm a little bit more surprised at. We haven't seen Thor even look for a gank.
Yeah, he's level 6 right now. Has an opportunity to go for it. You'll see him on the right side. Going to take a break here and continue the farm up. Wants to get the blue buff for Vamana. One of the more mana-intensive gods in the game. Very. As he's going to walk back over. Can we actually see the Vamana here? Just want to confirm that it's double. Never mind. Double boars are dead.
Right hits tier. Let me take a look at tier. No, he's going to walk out in time. We'll find out.
Eventually.
I'm pretty sure it's double boars.
Yeah, that makes sense to me.
Next update, I think console will be getting single boars. Tier no mana, but has the blue buff ticking. And now it's the core group up that we see so often in competitive Smite, but it looks like TABM, they don't want to give up this red buff for free. They're going to look to kind of steal it.
They're going to go in a little bit too late. A small amount of damage from Kali, but not much else. She walks into lane, or rather, Neith walks into lane taking some damage. They have control here, which is important. This is going to be an opportunity for them to get the front foot going. Get ahead of those globals, start the ganks up, but instead it looks like they're going to take the safer route and go for red.
How do you feel about this, really? Is the Kali just farm to late game, but do you just want the Kali to farm to late game and not force any fights?
I mean, it's a 23-minute timer right now, the way the games usually go. By the way,
double boar, I saw that too.
Double pigs.
I was going to let you finish.
And doesn't have his Fearless, and they'll go mana. Immune. Yeah, no mana at all.
I'm actually really surprised that Vamana didn't pick up those boars. They were still pulled. They were very low.
They were both off. They were immune.
He could have walked them back, though.
By the time he got back in there, they would have gained at least 30% of their health back, and given the fact that they were just barely under 50, you're looking at 75%, and he had already used Armored Umbrella. There was no chance he was going to take them.
Rotation has come in from BM, though, as the Vamana backed off. They're not able to secure the boards, but look at this. You can see Tier Janus. They might try and force something here in the mid lane, and actually, Thor's going to come underneath Khepri, but just hammer out defensively, not trying to look for the fight.
That was smart. I mean, he went for it. I like the opportunity. Just knock on the door, see who answers, and he decides, I don't really like this situation. He bails out immediately. Vamana takes a trip back to the base. This is smart of him to do at this stage because he knows that Tier's going to back, so by him doing this earlier, it could force out the teleport from Tier, which I know Tier doesn't want to use. Tier's leaving the base now.
He's teleporting.
Yeah, he's teleporting. This was a really good play by Vamana. His comes up in 20 seconds, which is going to allow him to force a Gold Fury fight earlier rather than later.
Thor's actually in the sky. Soul in a lot of trouble. There comes the Suns, but Zapparate not going to be in time. There's the corporeal form, but no one else to help her out.
Yeah, okay. I was going to say the rather confusing route that they were taking, blocking her path off both of them, but they still managed to keep themselves in range. First blood goes expectedly to Team Rival as they take down Soul, which may be not as expected.
I'm pretty sure Rival noticed that the Khepri had backed it and knew the Soul was essentially a free gank. If you see the support back, you know he's not going to be there in time. Really nice combination and a small gold lead, about 1,000, I think, from the stolen camps, as well as that first blood. So a slight lead for Rival. We'll see if they can continue to extend it. Left-hand side Harpy's about to spawn, and Hu Yi's actually rotating over. Khepri could be in a little bit of trouble if Rival want to force this.
Mr. Turtle moving forward. He's going to see Headhunter here. Solar Flare will force out the jump, but it'll wash out after that. Left side camp about to spawn. Should go to red. Let's talk a little bit about this Neith here. Pretty early. Transcendence finished, getting some decent damage going into boots. I don't think we've seen a World Weaver yet.
Not once. Even on that gank, I don't think it was used.
Hey, how did I do that?
There's the charge and Ballbringer. It is not available, but Gnome going to be able to heal up, and I don't think the Tier's going to be able to lock this down. But Kali actually rotating around the top side, and Gnome doesn't know this. He doesn't have a lot of mana. It's only going to be enough for a dash. He needs to be careful here, and it was a bait, but Kali actually jumps in.
Oh.
Did Gnome just spend too much mana and he can't dash?
He most certainly did. His mana's coming back. And yeah, he's going to walk away. Tier decides he doesn't like money or experience and will let him go back to the base for free. Still has his teleport available to him, so he'll make it back pretty much for free. In fact, actually, he's staying over there.
Really surprising. I like the gank tip coming out from the Neith, sending over the World Weaver. Gnome obviously reads it, and he's going to pop his ultimate. But Kali coming around from the top side, I'm really surprised that she elected to jump in. Gnome clearly didn't know. Could have just walked forward, and if Gnome had elected to dash, could have interrupted him out of it. Left-hand side, though, Soul going to be ganked again.
Soul's in a lot of trouble here. Oh, all right. She's jumping all over the place. She should not be able to get away from this one. Wait, the heal's going off. The final shot misses, and Janus throws his ultimate a little bit too early. He's going to go into the back line.
She's going to die. Yeah, it's just a matter of time.
She's sandwiched.
One more hit,
Janus.
And now the minions are tanking. But no, Janus went in a little bit too soon. And she's actually going to heal up. I'm surprised she's not backing at all. But look at the rotation. Kind of a bait.
Neith does not have her ult. Wait, does she have that? I can't tell if that diamond is available. I think it is.
It's going to be...
No,
it's not. It's 3/4 filled.
I can't see it from here. You're like a genius.
You need glasses. Here, you want to wear mine?
I do not.
Probably. I think my head's pretty big anyway.
that is the reason.
No, I'm going to be stealing away the double boars on the bottom right-hand side. Vamana now a level up, but gold is even, so Tier holding his own.
All right, Tier, what are you, crazy? He's like, hey, two people are walking at me. Let me throw my escape at them.
Hey, man, he's just feeling himself.
A little bit, yeah.
Hydra's feeling himself.
Tier does have his teleport available to him. He's going to head back this way. He'll be able to rotate if he needs to the Gold Fury. Advantage now to Tier. You'll note a slight gold advantage for Vamana, but his teleport's down for about 2 minutes here, which gives Tier so much global pressure unless he teleports to the lane and wastes it. And okay.
Just let him live his life. He's picked up Curse as well. Going to be very effective, most notably against Vamana. Able to reduce 65% of that healing when in big baby form. And it looks like a pretty big grouping on the right-hand side here. 3 members going to be splitting those mid camps as Gnome rotated over as well. I'm a little bit surprised. I feel like Rival have been on the back foot most of the time outside of the Thor ganks.
Yes, which is strange considering the fact that they have a comp that's much more suited for early aggression. They're kind of giving
We haven't seen a Janus ult either.
Yeah, well, we saw one. over to the left side.
Okay, that's true.
All right, Tier. He's
Predator.
got it. He's got
feeling
it.
himself. Actually, almost able to kill Hydra, who has to hammer out. Blue buff is stolen successfully away, and now Gnome going to try and chase it. Left-hand side, 4-member group up, though, from Team BM.
What is this Neith ult that's happening here? Who are they looking for? He actually goes all the way to the tier 2 and finds a return kill. Finally, Team BM on the board as they take down a rather lazy Thor in the jungle.
No blink, no curse. Hydra just
walked
in the shop. In the shop, more than likely, is what I'm going to suggest. And with that kill, Gold Fury actually going to be started up. We could see it. No teleport available from either team. And there's the burst combination. Soul coming through. But here comes through space and time. Team BM are able to secure the Gold Fury, but they could lose a couple players.
Maybe not. Airbrushd Airbrushd a little bit too quick there. He'll walk away. Neith in some trouble, slowed down, decent damage. Ricochet hits as well, but not enough to kill. It winds up being a free kill over on the right side, a stolen blue buff, and a Gold Fury for Team BM in the span of, what was 60 seconds?
4 members grouped up, but look at this. Tears rotating from the top side. Actually elects to take a little bit of a safer path, and there's the Lawbringer.
Not quite on the mark, though, with the follow-up.
Thor's in the sky.
Decent damage, though, either way.
Gonna come crashing down. Berserker's Barrage. Hammer's out, though. Predators can't find it, and general reset from both teams there.
Big grouping here for BM, but they'll be able to walk away from this one pretty cleanly. You'll note right back to even 62 experience. I mean, that's as close as it gets, man.
And both of these mid laners, they've got their boots online, have their Doom Orbs completed, starting to stack it up. But Predators, I mean, he's been pretty effective. A little bit rough in the early game, but now finds himself with the direct 400 gold lead over Gnome.
Now, last week, and obviously you can't hold me to this, but last week I'm pretty sure that Team BM lost in the round of 8 or round of 16.
It was pretty early, but we're going to be going to a break just shortly, guys. We'll be back just this minute with the with the semifinal, BM versus Rival.
For the interruption, folks, we're back here in the semifinals of the European Smite Console League with Team BM and Team Rival continuing their set at an almost dead even game. We'll go to the graphs just to catch you up. You'll note 500 experience and less than 50 gold between the teams.
And now less than 10, or actually exactly 10. So pretty back and forth here. Predators been pretty impactful for Team BM. Rival, 2 ganks over the left-hand side. They found first blood onto Soul and then a failed second attempt. But Predators, for the most part, been controlling Gnome, able to find a single kill against Hydra in a 1v2, and that allowed BM to get that Gold Fury to recoup the gold they had lost from Rival's early pressure. Mid lane, though, it's going to be the classic group up, and Rival still yet to really force anything here, but we could see that change.
There's been a strange lack of aggression here from Team Rival. Both Hydra and Atonement should be much more at it than they are. I mean,
they seem scared.
They're way scared. They're allowing Team BM to get all of these weird hyper carries to the end game. I mean, obviously Soul has been picked off once. They've made a few attempts there, but no one has really made a real attempt to call it yet.
And look at her. She's just zoning out 3 effectively. There's going to come the root from Zenborne, but no one in a position to follow up. Mr. Turtle was there anyway, in case she got into an awkward spot. And over the right-hand side, Predators actually zoning out in between the Tier 1 and Tier 2, finding waves that deep, left untouched. He's going to take a trip back to the base.
Looks like Kali has opted to go directly into Chin Size. A little bit early, going to miss a little bit of that damage.
We've seen most players actually go into Chin Size early. PC and console.
It's awkward. Without extra movement speed or some type of penetration, you're not really getting the same level of damage. You're relying too much on auto attacks when she doesn't really have that to her just yet. And given the fact that she doesn't have a lot of attack speed, it's very hard for her to get more than, I would say, 3 or 4 hits off. So a lack of lifesteal or some type of control or penetration can hurt her. I guess we'll see how it goes. So far, she's been almost uncontested. But really, she can't box anyone on that field just yet. Everyone either has a level advantage drastically like Vamana or will be able to kite her pretty effectively like Janus or Thor.
Left-hand side, Team BM, we're looking for something. And you can see Gnome forced back to the base, had no teleport available. And Predators on that tier elected to walk over and look to see if he can make something happen. I don't believe he's on a ward, but it doesn't look like BM are going to be able to successfully force anything, and Soul, once again, ganked for the 3rd time. 2nd time that it's been unsuccessful.
Blue buff getting taken on the right side. Nobody picking it up. I guess they're going to leave it for Tier. I would have liked to see Kali or Neith pick that up.
Tier's nowhere close to be able to pick that up.
There's no way he picks that up.
That's really surprising. That's very awkward, and honestly, pretty big detriment to Tyr. He's already half mana, and he's going to, it seems, walk over there. You can actually see Gnome's actually going to be able to see that it has already been taken. And if he wants, he could elect to zone, and that's exactly what he's going to do. He's going to look to stop Tyr before he can get over there.
Tyr, I think even if he runs straight, I don't think he has this.
Dash. Oh, that had to have been close. I didn't see the time it was dropped.
He used both Fearlesses, so it's a good thing he did. Kali now going into a Fatalis Soul, going directly into Polynomicon pretty early, although it could be Divine Ruin.
Could be. Probably not against this team comp, though. I would imagine she'd just be looking to buff, I don't know, the Khepri damage? Maybe she just wants the CDR from it? That's an awkward item to go. It's Poly.
CDR from what?
I don't know. I was thinking the wrong item.
Yeah,
I was thinking Pythagorean Feast. Leave me alone, man.
This is the CDR in that item.
Let me just ignore everything I said in the past 10 seconds.
Are you leaking patch notes?
No, please.
Is Divine Ruin getting cooldown
That's
reduction?
you and F dot. That's you and F dot.
Oh, that's F dot.
That was F dot.
I remember when he's talking about the wards giving gold, and I'm just looking at him. He's like, dude, I don't know.
I wasn't me. It wasn't me. He's not allowed to see them anymore.
Oh, rip.
Gold Fury being surrounded by Rival, who have a Sentry Ward there. Khepri going to counter that one. Kali gets the 50 gold, and that's something, that's a small thing that you don't really talk about too much is when a support, counters a ward, allowing your carry to get that gold is very important. It can add up to a couple hundred and honestly a power spike before a big objective.
Ooh, 2 shots thrown, 2 shots missed there as both carries on the left side try to take a shot at it. Another Sentry Ward taken out. This fight has been going on for quite some time. I wonder if there's any vision left in the inventory for Team Rival.
Airbrushd, I think, got both of those, so an extra 100 gold going towards his Fatalis. He needs 900. Can we actually take a look at gold in hand? Roughly about 900 to finish that off, and yeah.
990.
990, right?
990.
So about one more wave, half a wave, and he'll be able to go back and get that Fatalis, and that's something he should probably look to be doing. But right-hand side, Predators successfully steals away another blue buff, I believe.
Did he really?
He had to have, because Gnome doesn't have it around him.
Oh, you made a mistake, son. You better get up there real quick.
That was close. Through space and time, coming through the team fight, and Gnome just trying to zone.
Don't do it, Thor.
Hydra, no, he's not jumping into this one, I hope. Yeah, he backed off.
Okay, no, he's way out. Way out. Oh, nice shot by the Janus, finding 2 with the Unstable Vortex. Airbrushd forced to jump away there after taking the portal as well. And the Hunters. Hello?
Farleez in a lot of trouble. He's very low, but no one able to chase him down. Predator's going to play zone, and here comes Gnome around the corner. Farleez and Airbrushd staying a little bit too long in the mid lane. 4 players grouped up, 3 of them under half life. In the meantime, Slapheader actually able to successfully split push this tier 1 unless Thor can get here in time, and it doesn't look like he's going to be able to. Just decides to take the back camps.
And the first structure to fall this game will be in the duo lane. Good ultimate from Kumbhakarna.
He's Airbrushd able to get her ult off in time. Probably would have died if that didn't go. Tier 1 in the mid. Yeah. Gnome's going to find the last hit, and Predator's in a little bit of trouble. Could turn this on to Headhunter, but a nice Sanctuary, and Predator's going to back
Tier,
off.
He's not in trouble. He heals for 420.
You're right. I forgot he was Tier. Is it 420, man?
Actually, it is.
Oh, man.
Lit.
It's disgusting.
So Kali, golden hand right now, very low. You'll note has finished up that Fatalis. We see a Polynomicon and a Magic Focus coming out from Soul. So
not Pythagoreans.
Not Pythagoreans piece, no. In fact, not even going to build it, as we see her go into what is likely Obsidian Shard. Although it could be Spear of the Magus. I would probably not assume so.
She doesn't really have a lot to proc it outside of roll. It's not really worth it.
Stellar Burst.
But that's the only thing. Right. It's the single hit.
Unless they chase her through the 3.
That's true.
They could chase her through.
You could just run in circles on the team fight. And just
all right, Khepri, it's your chance. Like
you got bonus penetration. I believe in you. Hey, man, it does.
Dude, Rising Dawn, man.
That's pretty effective.
It does.
It has penetration of its own as well.
It does like 200 damage.
It
not bad.
Ticks. Gold Fury being circled right now by Team BM. They were able to get the first one, and they counter that sentry for now.
Good bait here. Kali taking a weird path. I would have liked to see her move forward. She gives away space control, though. Team BM gets the ward, but not much else.
And Team BM really don't want to force this unless it's going to be for free. Rival not going to give it to him. And you can see Tyr just backing. Could elect to teleport to his tower or just walk into this fight. And I think he's going to walk into this fight. No, I don't think he knows what he wants to do. He holds his teleport, and he's going to walk back to his lane.
Thor tries to go for the double tap, only hits 1 which is completely negated, actually, by the Khepri. You'll note that Khepri attacking those creeps there was unnecessary. I would have liked to see him get out of combat and start giving his team these shields. He's spending a lot of time attacking, which is not letting him get his passive off as effectively. Mr. Turtle, very aggression-focused as opposed to defensive-focused, which he should be at this stage of the game.
Solo laners, almost level 20 Gnome. Slight experience lead forward now. Bulwark finished from both of them. Very similar builds, however. The tier actually electing to go into Jotun's, wants that higher CDR so he can really disrupt the fight. Multiple Fearlesses, heal up more often, whereas Gnome going into the Wingblade wants to be able to keep up with players in his ultimate and chase them down. Kali, actually, it looks like she's trying to pick someone off on the minimap, and it's actually Zenborne, who is surprisingly the same level as Kali.
I thought Thor and Kali were on the same team for a second.
Hey, man. Double jungle.
I'm down.
Wolfie.
Wolfie?
Yeah, Wolfie was big on double jungle. You were big, too. I remember that with Afro.
Oh, everyone did it.
Hey, man.
It was great.
It's OP.
Afro and Thor running around.
God, it was so annoying.
Yes.
It was so annoying. Don't remind me. Sprint popped defensively as Thor lands down.
And we're going to see aggression here. It looks like Tier taking the front line. Nice block, but the Fearless is doing a lot of work there. Kali getting a whole bunch off there, grouped up completely. But so far, no one falls.
There's 5 players very low. And honestly, Airbrushd very deep, can't get his target in time. And it's going to be Gnome to take out the Kali. Team BM turn their focus to the Tier 1 tower as Predators on zone duty. Gnome not going to give it up for free, though. He's going to be plucked out, surrounded by 3. Stellar Burst. He's the new target for Kali, but she's not alive.
Got him.
Predators pinched him out, and that's going to be a Tier 1 tower, 1-for-1 trade.
That's really important. Taking that Vamana down and changing the target for Kali to one of the other members is a big deal. Everyone else, except for Kumbhakarna, of course, is much, much squishier. Beautiful,
Predators.
Fearless, right in place, going to get jumped over, and an aggressive play from Ho Yi, facing off against
standing
3.
tall.
He's running out of mana.
There's going to be the mez coming out from Zenborne, but it is actually the Janus there, and Team BM, they're still on this Gold Fury, but it's going to be Hydra coming into the middle of 3. He's going to get turned on, though. Turtle very low. Hydra has to hammer out. The Gold Fury's been reset, and Predators continues to find these kills all alone, 3-0-0.
You know, I talked about it in the beginning. Tier is going to have to be self-sufficient. He needs to go into the back line and just be an annoyance. Get those Fearless controls off, keep himself healed, and that's what he's doing. He's allowing the carries to be carries. Airbrushd, of course, went too far in the beginning of the last fight, dies, but they take the 4v5 in spades, wind up getting another one by taking down the carry, getting the structure, and forcing a fight at the Gold Fury, although they didn't get it just yet. Look at this guy.
Neith coming through as well. Zenborne in a lot of trouble. He does have Sleepy Time activated, but I mean, with the attack speed, it's over. Airbrushd finds his first kill. Team BM circling the Gold Fury. In the meantime, they're going to find the second one to their name, and now a pretty decent lead at 3,000 gold.
I didn't expect this to be as easy for Team BM as it seems to be in these team fights. A lot of it having to do with the fact that Hydra is just not making the plays, man. Every time that he has to come up big, he's falling up short, and Kali's able to get to the back line. Granted, it's not always coming out what she needs to do, but she's spreading the team out.
Hydra is Thor. When you think Thor, you think early aggression. You want to see him rotate. You want to see him set up kills. He spent 3 ganks over to the left-hand side trying to shut down Soul. He got the first one off, but then he continuously went back to Soul, and she escaped all of them. He's had 0 impact on the early game, which is where he needs to be most efficient. And after Breastplate, is that Transcendence?
It could be Transcendence or Hydra's, neither of which should really be picked up in this situation. Damage at this point indicates that he wants to fight, and I don't know who he's fighting. He loses the 1v1 to Tier, he loses the 1v1 to Kali, he loses the 1v1 to Neith, and he loses the 1v1 to Soul. He's going obviously for a team fight, but with how much peel has been on this team so far, I don't know where this damage is coming from.
There's a decent amount, honestly, to interrupt his Berserker's Barrage. It's mostly on the Khepri and Kali, but there's always one of those players around anytime he lands on a target. And more specifically, Mr. Turtle has been there to pluck him out of Berserker's Barrage or his hammer on cooldown.
We're getting another Balance Blade on the side of Vamana. Doesn't go Fatalis, doesn't go Frostbound, now going into damage. This could hurt as well. He's
probably looking for Chin's right-hand side, though. Team BM
certainly
going to be sieging up this Tier 1, and I don't think Rival are going to be able to get in here. And That's going to be the third structure completed. You can see Sol actually in a little bit of an awkward spot, but no one in position to pinch her out.
She's actually in a great position because she wasn't pressured. She's going to come in here. Stellar Burst is going to hit. Gnome in some trouble.
Gnome's in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, I like this play a lot.
He's actually not tanky at all. He's going to be forced to back off. Airbrushd can't find him. Neith charging her ultimate. Could look for any one of these team fights.
And they'll reset. The Suns force them back. We're getting some aggression from Thor on the right side, but he's forced to... Where did he go?
He blinked very far. Lawbringer, though, pretty deep into the fight, and
here's
Predator's
Airbrushd.
just going to reset. Airbrushd, though, going to find the first kill, and now it's Gnome in a lot of trouble. His ultimate is available, but not electing to use it. He actually dashes to try and defend his tower. He gets up, but Airbrushd now, his ultimate is going to keep him death immune. There's the Khepri ult just in case, and Team BM continue to pick away at Rival.
No penetration in the build coming out from Kali, which is why you're not seeing those big numbers pop up. The Oboe's not doing enough at this point. She needs a little bit more pen to get started. You can expect something like an Executioner or maybe even a Brawler's Beat Stick to help this out. Sol way out of position here. There really isn't a way out of this one.
She's actually stuck. Gnome actually could get turned on. Stellar Burst, not going to hit. The Phoenix
What?
does finish.
What? What?
But the ultimate confirms it, and Gnome dies.
Just out here doing whatever. This is like Georgia traffic.
That was so weird from Slapheader because he was actually kind of just sitting on the wall.
He knew he was
He
dead.
seemed like he accepted his fate.
Yeah.
But then the minions kind of cleared out. He wasn't body blocked as much. He walks forward. Stellar Burst missed. Throws the ultimate over the corner as Gnome tries to make his way back to base. Finds himself a kill. And now he's back up to half-life already. Fire Giant going to be uncontested. Unless Thor can somehow get close enough.
Thor is close enough. Does he take to the sky? Is he quick enough? No. Too little, too late. If he takes the attempt now, he will likely fall. He's not going to go all the way. He recognizes what's happened. They've lost the Bird. They lost the Tier 2. A whole bunch of players and the Fire Giant. Let's go to the graphs.
It's going to be 8,400 gold that separate these teams. And honestly, I believe that was the 22 or 23 minute mark. Dead even. This has just been Team BM. First Gold Fury, finding a couple kills, gets a tower, find a couple more kills, get another tower, find a couple more kills, get the Phoenix, get the Fire Giant. It's just been a slow burn for Rival.
We're not seeing the counterplay at all. We're not seeing Hou Yi get those big shots off onto Janus. We're not seeing Vamana get to the back line onto Sol. Well, no one picked up an Execute to deal with the Khepri, who has been using the revive perfectly. Kali isn't getting dealt with in any form of attack speed reduction. I mean, there's one Mid-Guardian male.
But I mean, that's not his target. You really don't see the Kali focusing on Zenborne.
Right, you don't.
He's just trying to avoid Zenborne. He doesn't want to fight into him.
He doesn't want to throw that damage in at all. There should have been a Frostbound Hammer or a Witchblade coming out, guaranteed, and there isn't.
Hydra.
Wow,
forced the ultimate. He does have
a short cooldown.
Max CDR. It's Max CDR. He's the Jotun's breastplate. It's the baby build. That's the baby build. Is Max CDR. You get out of so much. Not as effective, but you get out of, gives you a lot more safety. Mid Phoenix going to be pressured though. Gnome, big shot, but it's going to be Predators into the back line. Lawbringer trying to distract Suns in the middle, but Team BM are going to split up perfectly. Gnome's diving, but he's by himself. He just doesn't have the damage right now.
They're aiming at Kali so much. He's going to have to use his portal to get out of here. Stunned inside the Sanctuary. Decent damage coming out from the Soul. Trying on the right side to focus now Thor, who uses his Sanctuary. A lot of relics have been burned here. The Bird to fall.
Fire Giant keeping BM healthy as the percentage health. Hydra in a little bit of trouble unless someone can stun out Airbrushd. Airbrushd, there's his ultimate. There's his target back to full life. 2 Phoenixes down, and now Team BM, they're in full control of this one.
They got another Bird, another Tier 2, picked off a few more, or rather one more player.
Look at Predators too.
Look at this guy.
Just 3, 0, and 2. You can't fight them. Tier is almost full build, and now Gnome, he's in a little bit of trouble. No ultimate for him. He's going to be forced back into his fountain to heal. Last Phoenix, it's going to be secured. And Predators doesn't care. He's fighting the Titan and 4 members.
And he'll be able to sit here and take this up. It'll reset him in just a second. Was it enough? It fell off at the last second. Is this enough to hold? No. We're going to go into the finals with Team BM actually getting it over their rivals.
That was pretty good.
Thanks.
8-4 in kills, a very low death count across both teams, but just kind of that breakout at the 22, 23 minute mark, Gold Fury, and it wasn't just a full team wipe. There was never a single deicide. It was I'll kill 1 or 2 players, force 3 back, get an objective. Same thing, rinse and repeat all game.
It was clean. Let's take a look at the first blood. This is where I kind of thought that we were going to see something a little different. We're going to check in with Predators in just a second here.
This was...
Oh, it's not first blood.
This was Hydra's.
Yeah, the first...
When he picked up Hydra.
this. Oh, I'm sorry. We're having issues. We'll get to it in a second. But First Blood went to Rival.
Yes.
And then out of nowhere, Tier Predators just walks into the jungle and says, you know what?
He lawbringered over the blue buff wall, steals the blue buff.
Fearless power cleave, yeah.
Pokes out Hydra to half. Hydra hammers out, and I don't know where he was backing at, but we start looking at the left lane, and then all of a sudden, Hydra is dead.
So Gnome decides he's going to fight, and Tier decides, I don't care about this at all, walks past him, actually winds up catching him. This is the First Blood we were talking about, where it seems like Rival was going to have control. They knew to start taking care of the soul in the early game. Again, we mentioned the positioning there. They barely got that kill, but they do get it for the First Blood, but then immediately turns around for Predators a couple minutes later.
I don't know who was player of the game, but Predators for me, he was the one controlling
and
all of Rival.
And he shouldn't have been. Tier should not have been controlling that comp. He played out of his mind that game. That was probably one of the best Tier games I think we've seen on Xbox, period.
It was very good. And we're going to see just a couple of his plays as he did his best to just zone out all these players. He was fearless, right? No pun intended. He was fearless in diving the back line.
He was unyielding. Repeatedly.
He knew
Look at that.
the limits of his characters, and I think that's what's most important. He knew how deep he could dive. Not a single death. He picks up the Bulwark. He picks up the Urchin late game. He was working on the Spirit Robe.
And right there, that shows me so much potential. He gets the kill with the Fearless, immediately stance switches afterwards, and he could have Fearlessed away from the tower, but he saw the tower dying. He saw that his mana was low, and he walked to the Gold Fury. Presence of mind is very important. But that does it here for the semifinals. We have the finals coming up here in just a second. Team BM going to try to find their way into a victory this week after an early out last week. Stick around. We'll be right back.